Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, January 30th, 2023. Stand up for your country. You know, I've had now 3 days to think about this Memphis police killing. Good, honest news analysis takes a little time, okay? And it's not glib. It shouldn't be based on ideology, but it often is. It should be trying to find out the why behind the story, and that is what we are trying to do tonight. I hope we'll be successful. But this story in Memphis, Tennessee hurts every single American, every one of us, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points Memo. So you've heard about it. 29-year-old Tyre Nichols, a Federal Express worker, no criminal record, was driving home and he got pulled over on January 7th of this year by the police for alleged reckless driving. After that, all hell broke loose. Now, it took 3 days for Tyre to die. He was in the hospital, brutally beaten. You've seen the video. I can't watch the whole thing, but it is so harrowing. It's so disturbing that the main question is, why would these police officers do this? So the 5 of them be charged with second-degree murder. Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin, Desmond Mills, Justin Smith. Okay? All veterans of the force, all part of a street crimes unit named Scorpion, okay, which has been disbanded now. Nichols, Tyre, I don't know. I don't know why this escalated to that point. You can glean a little bit on the video, but it was obvious that this was an overreaction. So there are reports today that the police did call for backup, but the bottom line is they had the man's car. They had Tyre's car. They knew who he was, that if things were out of control, so you had to use tasers and pepper spray and all that, just let him go, and you get him later, okay? You don't physically beat the man because anything can happen when you do that, but the kicker on this is, and I'm sorry I use that word kicker because Tyre was kicked, all right, when he was down. George Floyd, these officers had to know that they were putting their own lives in jeopardy by doing this for a traffic stop. Tyre was not a danger to public safety. So what is it that goes through the minds of police officers where they take their own lives? What do I mean by that? They're going to be convicted. They're going to spend decades in prison. Their families are devastated, all 5. So look at the casualty count now. The worst is Tyre Nichols. He's dead. But his family and friends, and then the cops, families and friends, and it just mounts and mounts and mounts and mounts. All right, so I looked up the backgrounds of these cops, and there's nothing unusual about them. 3 of them attended and have degrees from universities. It's not like they were some kind of irresponsible unit, but they all did the wrong thing. Now, Memphis, Tennessee has the highest violent crime rate in the United States. And the crime rate is centered in the black neighborhoods. So that's why you had to have the Scorpion unit to try to suppress the violent crime in Memphis. It's true. But if you're not in control of yourself as a police officer, then you're not going to suppress anything and you're going to escalate, and that's what happened. So again, I come back to the fact that it doesn't make any sense to any rational person. And the unintended consequences are staggering. So every good cop and most of them are, is now suspect in the eyes of some Americans. That's number one. The country, the United States of America, what do you think they think about us over there? What do you think China does with this? What do you think our enemies do with this? We look like savages here. Savages. A totalitarian nation that has no respect for human life at all. So all of us as Americans are victims. The pro-police people, and I'm one of them, okay, we're now on the defensive when we want good, strong policing to stop the horrendous national crime wave. We want that. It's going to be harder to get because the progressives who hate the cops, who want no incarceration, no punishment for crimes, they gain. But say, look at those police officers. Look at them. They killed an innocent man. All right? So everything that is good gets smashed here. The nation's children, particularly if you're an inner city kid. And this is what you see. They all saw it on the internet. All the kids saw it. I mean, what are you going to think? You're an immature mind. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And here is the final point I have to make. That if these were white officers that killed Tyre, this country would be on fire right now. That's how fragile our social compact is. If they were white officers killing a young black man or any black, country erupts in riots, in flames, in looting, in violence. Hundreds would die, billions in damage. Y'all know it. And we're a step away from that. A step away from it. This is so frustrating for me because I usually am a solution kind of guy. I usually can analyze the problem and give you a solution to that problem that would work. But I can't give a solution to this problem because I don't know why these police officers did this when they destroyed their own lives. They committed symbolic suicide, all 5 of them. Why would you do that? For a traffic stop? It's just inconceivable. But the danger to this republic, to this country, is off the chart. Because it's going to happen again. Inevitably, there are bad police officers, irresponsible people who cannot control themselves, who are mentally ill for one reason or another. They got the police badge. I don't know. There's no glib solution like better training or any, that's all bull. When you hear that, you know the person saying it's a charlatan. All right? This is an anomaly. Does not happen often. But now on videotape, when it is seen by people who hate this country and people who want to do damage, gives them license. So we live in a much different world. Now, I want the best training possible for every police officer in this country. Once you got a gun and a badge and you have power over other people, including me, I want you to be trained. I want you to be a rational thinker. I want you to be a problem solver. Those cops were not solving any problem there. Okay? But again, they each have to be interviewed separately as to why did you participate in this? And the locals can't do it in Memphis. It's got to be Governor Lee, Bill Lee in Tennessee, has got to form a task force of law enforcement people and psychiatrists and that to interview each one of these officers in prison, find out why did you do this? Why? And I don't know what they'll say. I assume they'll have excuses, but maybe not. But we've got to get some kind of insight into the mind of a police officer who, in the wake of George Floyd, where everybody vividly remembers, would do the same thing. to a defenseless, Tyre didn't have a gun. He wasn't armed. I love my country. All right. And I know how much this damages my country. Now, most of the analysis over the weekend was self-serving, and it made me mad. I had to turn most of it off. It was predictable. It was foolish. It led nowhere. You can almost, when somebody comes on and I know who they are, I can predict what they're going to say. All right? They want a virtue signal, or they want to make an excuse, whatever it may be. I know what they're going to do. But two sound bites caught my eye, and I'm going to run them both. They're totally different. Go number one.
The televised countdown to the release of the video that captured his demise further made sport of his death and devalued his life. It furthered the theater making of Black people's pain, and it underscores America's perverse abandonment of the commitment to change it made after the death of George Floyd and the historic summer of protests that it begat.
Okay, so that man, Charles Blow, former New York Times guy, he may be there. I don't read him. I don't listen to him. He hates his country, always has. I've had innings with this guy going way back. He just despises it. I don't know why he bothers living here. If I hated my country, I wouldn't live here. I'd go someplace else. But that is the intellectual. See, he's considered an intellectual. So America's perverse abandonment of the commitment to change after the death of George Floyd. America's, like we all have abandoned any kind of fairness or responsibility by the police. It's just such a lie. It's just staggering. But this is what these people do. All right, at the New York Times and all of that. Second one was a law enforcement guy out here in Long Island where I am. Go.
And then they tarnished the shield. They ruined the reputation of all the good men and women out there in law enforcement that work hard every single day and go out there and take the risk.
Okay, that was Pat Ryder, who is the Nassau County Police Commissioner. And these police officers did. All right, they tarnished the reputation of law enforcement. They didn't know they were doing that, I guess, when they were beating this man to death, but that's the consequence. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. Many timeshare owners are upset that their yearly dues continue to increase. And the annual fees never stop, even after you quit using the property. So if you are stuck in a timeshare, you're not alone. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and hundreds of 5-star testimonials, family-owned Lone Star Transfer is the only company you can trust, guaranteeing the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Lone Star Transfer's customer service is second to none. They will make your experience a pleasant one, done legally, ethically, and quickly. They have 15 years of experience in the timeshare disposal business and are here to help you. So start the new year off right with a free, no-obligation consultation. Call 855-551-7066 or go to LoneStarTransfer.com. 855-551-7066. Let's go to the mail. We got Anthony Macaro, Jupiter, Florida. Bill, you said Putin has to go, and you said Putin is basically crazy. So don't you think he will use a nuke? As I explained in great detail, Anthony, in order for Putin to launch a nuclear weapon, the military has to sign on to it, the Russian military. I doubt that will happen. Charles MacArthur, Hastings-on-Hudson, New York. Just curious, Bill, you feel Putin has tons of money and you can't understand why he's destroyed the world and not be happy with his wealth. Well, how about George Soros? Well, Soros hasn't destroyed himself. Soros is a hero in the progressive precincts for trying to bring down traditional America. There's a big difference. Putin is a villain, can't go anywhere. Soros, in many precincts, is a hero. Paula, Ukraine has the goods on Biden. This is the reason he is helping them. If he doesn't, They will expose him for the corruption that he has engaged in over the years. So, Paula, with all due respect, if you could just give me a little backup on that, what Ukraine has on Biden, you just send it along, how you know what they, I would never say that unless I had something to back it up. And I'll report it if you got it. Patty Cagle, Cameron Park, California. I'm appalled at what Biden's inflation and war on gas has done to our country. My husband and I live in Northern California. We just got notice the price of our PG&E bill is going up. We can serve as best we can, but we can't cut anywhere else. It's California, though. It's Biden and the crazy attack on fossil fuels, but California has laden the energy industry out there with so many taxes and regulations. You guys pay 30, 40% more than the rest of the country. Ralph, Concierge member. Ralph gets a direct access to me. I'm not in favor of suspending the gas tax. It's been in place for many years. The infrastructure bill can disappear in a heartbeat. Once you take away the gas tax, it'd be hard to reinstate it. No, it wouldn't. You suspend the gas tax as long as the infrastructure bill, 1.2 trillion, or is it 1.8 trillion? It's 1.8. The inflation bill is 1.2. I can't even keep track. And as long as that money's going for infrastructure, you don't need a gas tax. When the infrastructure money runs out, which will probably be next Wednesday, then you could put it back. Congress has to do all this. It's not hard. Robert Mertz, Ackworth, Georgia. I listen to you every night, Bill. Get accurate, fast, fact-based reporting and know we have a serious immigration issue. The drug smuggling crisis is beyond belief. I'd like to understand why we don't address the influence China has shipping these illegal drugs. China makes fentanyl, ships it to Mexico. We can't stop that. Nothing we can do. Can't interdict it, can't stop it. Goes right to Mexico, they formulate it into various narcotics or send the fentanyl in pill form or in the United States. That we can do something about. Jim, Concierge member, I love that you and Chris Cuomo do a weekly hit. It's informative and entertaining. I especially enjoy and respect your verve, wit, and communication skills. I've been doing this a long time, Jim. If I don't have them by now, you should see me in the beginning in Scranton. Ooh, it was grim. And I'm impressed with both you and Cuomo, Bill. As usual, you make well-reasoned points that are backed up by facts. Cuomo, he actually allows you to speak. He has to. Not that he wouldn't, he probably would, but believe me, he has to. Patrick Dowd, Newport Richie, Florida. I was surprised to hear you slam the Oscars tonight. There are a record 5 out of 20 Irish actors up for awards. I don't analyze the news by my ethnicity, Patrick. I'm happy the Irish people are getting recognized, but Irish actors have always been top of the chart. But there's no more Oscars. It's like nobody cares about it. Okay, new polos, no spin for spring and summer are going. They're going to sell out. I just ordered 2. They're great. You'll love them. I hope you get them. And then we have the mugs, Stand Up for Your Country, No Spin. They'll last forever, by the way. I'm still using my mugs from 7 years ago. And we have all kinds of stuff on sale, including the Killing books. Great deals on our books. And now I'm going to tell you about the new book in the final thought right after these messages. Oh, no, word of the day, right? No Sawder, Sawder. I bet you never heard of that word. Sawder. Right back. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. I want to tell you about Ghostbed. Ghostbed has been designing high-quality sleep products for more than 2 decades with more than 50,000 positive customer reviews. Wow. Ghostbed has luxury mattresses and premium sheets that get softer with every wash. Their mattresses have a cooling feature. Each is made with their signature Ghost Ice fabric, perfect for hot sleepers. Get fast and free shipping, plus a 101-night sleep trial with free returns. Trying their mattress is truly risk-free. So please go online, take their quiz to find out the ideal mattress for your sleeping style. Get 30% off Ghostbed mattresses plus 2 free luxury pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their award-winning adjustable base. Use promo code BILL at ghostbed.com/bill to take advantage of this fabulous offer. That's ghostbed.com/bill, promo code BILL. Okay, here is the new killing book on the screen. For those of you on the radio, Killing the Witches, The Horror of Salem, Massachusetts. It is out September 26th of this year. I'm not finished. I'm about 70% through it. So this book is about the horrible things that happened with the witch trials, but way more than that. It examines the very early parts of America. From the Mayflower on over, we'll put you right on the Mayflower. They get here, here's what happens, and then off the witch trials, it extends into our founding fathers, particularly Benjamin Franklin, who was in Boston when the witch trial controversy was hot. And he actually visited the villain, the top villain, Cotton Mather. Franklin went to his house as a teenager. It's an amazing tale. So this book, the reason I wrote it is because it takes you from the very beginning of America, very beginning, okay, all the way through. Now we have killing England, killing Lincoln, all the way through. So you'll know everything about your country until killing the killers and killing the legends, which is contemporary history. But I went all the way back because you know what? Nobody knows what really happened at Plymouth. Did you know? I'll just give you this. Pilgrims, that word was never used until 1800. They were Puritans, the travelers, and other adjectives to describe them. Never pilgrims. And these Puritans, when they came over, what do you say? It's just every page you're going to go, whoa, like this. And how it developed, all right, how this country developed really. Not just the turkey and mashed potatoes thing, although that happened. That happened. And the interactions with the Indians were very interesting. We tell you all that. And pirates. Okay, pirates were involved in this witch stuff too. So it's just, the book's actually, it's hard to write it because I'm covering a fairly long period of history here. But it's fun because Dugard, who I don't let him out of the house, he's a researcher, Martin Dugard. He's coming up with this stuff. You know, I have no idea. I said, you sure? Did this really happen? And it happened. And when do you see these witch trials? You think the cancel culture, and there's a lot of similarity between the cancel culture we have now, the whole system that we have generated by the media, and what happened back then. It's hysteria on both sides. And then the personalities involved. And again, this is history you were never taught, never told about, because it's not particularly pleasant when you're executing women, mostly women, and 2 dogs. 2 dogs got executed as witches. Where do you see this thing? Anyway, Killing the Witches, you can pre-order it, and if you do, you'll get it first. I'm going to try to speed up that, by the way. So if the release date is the 26th of September, I'll try to get the pre-orders out maybe a week early this time around. You'll like the book. It's different, way different than anything we've ever done. And I'm already proud of it, and we're not even finished with it yet, but that's coming. So, Killing the Witches, The Horror of Salem, Massachusetts, the next killing book out September 26th. Thank you for listening and watching the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Interest rates skyrocketing. We all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So, you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers, are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.